Look at yourself. It's 2 a.m. and you are still scrolling. Your eyes are burning, your brain is numb, but you can't stop. You are trapped in a digital cage, feeding on the cheap dopamine of strangers' lives. You think you are connected to the world? No, you are a slave to it. You are losing your edge, losing your focus, losing your soul in the endless noise.
Elias looked at his reflection in the dark screen. He didn't recognize the man staring back.
He used to have ambition. He used to have a vision. Now, he was just a spectator in someone else's story. He realized a terrifying truth. A man who cannot control his attention can never control his destiny. So he decided to do what 99% of men will never have the courage to do. He decided to go ghost. No announcements, no dramatic goodbye posts, no digital footprints. He didn't want attention. He wanted his power back. He put his phone on airplane mode, powered it down, and stepped into the shadows.
He took the device, the source of his distraction, the anchor holding his mind down, and locked it away.
For the next 30 days, he was dead to the world. Let them wonder where he went. Let them think he failed. Silence is the ultimate luxury of a man building an empire. The first 3 days were a psychological warfare. His pocket vibrated when there was nothing there. His hand automatically reached for a screen that didn't exist. His brain was screaming for its drug. The withdrawal was real. Elias sat in the quiet room, sweating, fighting the phantom itch of modern addiction. When you remove the noise, you are forced to face the one person you've been running from your entire life, yourself. Every regret, every fear, every dark thought he had buried under years of scrolling came rushing to the surface. He couldn't hide anymore. He had to sit in the fire of his own mind. On the 4th day, he left his apartment. No headphones, no music, no podcasts to fill the void. Just the sound of his boots on the pavement. The world felt different, too bright, too real. He noticed the trees, the wind, the faces of strangers. He was finally waking up from a decade-long digital coma. To truly disappear, you must leave the place that made you weak. Elias packed a single bag and drove north, far away from the neon lights and the instant gratification of city life. He rented a barren cabin at the edge of an ancient forest. No Wi-Fi, no signal, just land, sky, and absolute isolation. The first night in the cabin was terrifyingly still. No ambient city noise, no glowing notifications, just the crackle of wood in the fireplace. Without the digital world to distract him, Elias had to build a new reality. He rose at 5 a.m. before the sun even cleared the horizon. His days became defined by physical labor, chopping wood, carrying water, fixing the cabin. He replaced dopamine with sweat. He replaced fake connection with hard, heavy wood. A ghost doesn't talk about his plans. He works in silence. Elias built a makeshift gym behind the cabin with stones, iron chains, and heavy logs. He poured his past failures, his frustrations, and his unspent energy into the cold iron. No mirrors, No camera to record his workout. No clout. Just raw, unfiltered pain. By week 3, Elias looked at his reflection in a frozen lake. The soft, distracted boy from 30 days ago was gone. In his place stood a man with sharp, predatory eyes and an immovable posture. He was no longer a slave to validation. He didn't need the world to like him because he finally respected himself. He had learned the ultimate secret of the Ghost Month. Silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. When you stop chasing the noise of the crowd, your inner compass finally points north. He was ready to go back, not as a participant in their circus, but as the master of his own fate. 30 days. The Ghost Month was officially over. Elias walked back into his apartment, his steps heavy and measured. He walked to the drawer and took out his phone. It felt light. It felt insignificant. The object that used to control his entire life now felt like a mere piece of plastic and glass. He pressed the power button. The screen lit up, and immediately a storm of notifications flooded his screen. Thousands of missed alerts, endless group chats, dramas, social updates, and opinions of people he barely knew. Before, this would have triggered his anxiety. Now, it looked like a circus. With a single swipe, he cleared the screen. He deleted the apps that wasted his time. He unfollowed the accounts that fed his comparison. He didn't text back his friends saying, "I'm back." A king doesn't announce his arrival. He just moves. Elias put on his suit, but he didn't wear it like armor to hide his insecurity anymore. He wore it like a warrior putting on his gear. He walked into the busy city streets. The crowd was moving fast, eyes glued to their screens, stumbling like ghosts. Elias was the only one looking straight ahead. He walked into his old office. His partners were arguing, panicking over numbers and social trends. When Elias entered, the room went cold. He didn't speak. He didn't sit down immediately. He just stood at the head of the table. His silence was heavier than all their shouting combined. The Ghost Month taught him the ultimate weapon, the power of no. No to cheap dopamine. No to useless meetings. No to fake relationships. When you are no longer desperate for validation, you become dangerous. You can't be bought. You can't be distracted. Elias sat down and opened his physical leather journal on the glass table. While everyone else was checking their tablets and phones, Elias was executing a strategy forged in the silence of the woods. He wasn't playing their 15-second game anymore. He was playing the 10-year game. You don't need to live in a cabin forever to be a ghost. You can go ghost in the middle of a crowded room. You can go ghost by keeping your plans to yourself, by working while they sleep, by staying silent while they boast. True power is being invisible in plain sight. Look around you. Everyone is asleep, plugged into a digital matrix that drains their potential. Are you going to stay asleep, or are you ready to wake up? Your winter is waiting. The silence is waiting. It's time to go ghost. If you are ready to delete the noise and build your empire in the dark, comment ghost. Subscribe to Infinite Drive. Welcome to the shadow.